More devastating news about our planet, ladies and gentlemen. Have you heard of the baobab trees? Well, some of the oldest, largest trees in the world are dying at a ridiculously alarming rate. Now, these trees are biblical. They're actually referenced several times in Revelation, Genesis, different parts of the Bible. And I'm going to share with you some scriptures that link these incredible trees that will live over 2,000 years. Now, this recent study suggests that climate change is the contributing factor to the death of these massive, gorgeous trees. They have died over the past 12 years. Some of the largest have died over the past 12 years, and they can reach ages that exceed 2,000 years. Now, researchers aren't completely sure, of course, what's going on, but as I've shared with you footage of Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, many of the forests in higher elevation areas are becoming decimated from these beetles, combined with drought, combined with possibly the magnetosphere, the ozone weakening because of where we're located in conjunction with the sun. And if we're getting ready for a global cooling type situation, ladies and gentlemen, a miniature ice age that was discussed back in the 40s, well, that's going to have horrible repercussions on the forests, on the food supplies. We're already seeing food supply shortages right now. The costs of goods are going to go up excessively and increasingly over the next few years here. Be ready for that. I just went out and purchased another 210 mils from My Patriot Supply. They've got specials right now where you can get 70 mils for less than $70 with a 20-something year shelf life. The food tastes good, especially if you're hungry. I think that it's a good idea to have some food storables in your garage, in your possession. If you are interested in that, just click the link in the video description box. You can also give them a call. They got a bunch of great deals on survival gear, organic seeds, water filtration systems. The food stuff is awesome. So definitely click that link. Be prepared. Better to be prepared than not. Murphy is an optimist. I don't know if you've ever heard that saying before. Murphy's Law. Murphy's definitely an optimist. But let's go back to this article from Weather Channel. Africa's massive trees of life likely being killed off by climate change, study says. I want to show you, too, real quick, what these beautiful trees look like. So let me just pull up here an image. And here we go. So this right here, this beautiful tree, you scroll down here, look at this. These trees can store water in the trunk up to 32,000 gallons. I mean, wow, that's what I'm talking about. Now, this will help endure harsh drought conditions, etc. So I'm thinking, if these things store 32,000 gallons of water, if the climate change is causing them to die off, is it drought? Is it a bug? Are they getting fried from the sun because there's not enough protection in the ozone? Here's what's even more interesting, ladies and gentlemen, is these trees, the amount of these trees that have died over a short period of time. These are the oldest trees that are dying, the most massive, and it's just like boom, boom, boom. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. Not good. Then you can go to Genesis. I don't know what this picture's not really working very good. Of course, the gremlins come out when I do podcasts. They always wait until I talk about something good, and then the gremlins literally jump out on the internet, and I don't know. I'm going to have to get a brand new computer, brand new satellite system, so I don't even have to deal with this. It's ridiculous. But let me share with you a little bit about these trees from Genesis. This is from a blog spot. This is from Jandy on genesis.blogspot.com. Trees in Genesis. This came out, this is very interesting information. The trees known to have grown in the region of Abraham's people include the baobab tree. Now, they're prominently in biblical symbolism, and if you read about the baobab tree, you will think that there is a very strong connection to Revelation 21, 1-2, describing the waters flowing from a tree, and many people believe the symbolism of that comes from this specific baobab tree that will house up to 20-something thousand gallons of water. I mean, that's awesome. Imagine being in the desert and you need a drink. Well, you could just go up to one of these trees, pop in a cork, have a nice drink. There you go. Listen to this. Where's this at here? The baobab was among the first trees to appear on the land. Next came the slender, graceful palm tree. When the baobab saw the palm tree, it cried out that it wanted to be taller. Then the beautiful flame tree appeared with its red flower, and the baobab was envious for flower blossoms. When the baobab saw the magnificent fig tree, it prayed for fruits as well. The gods became angry with the tree and pulled it up by its roots, then replanted it upside down to keep it quiet. In the wet months, the baobab stores water in the thick, corky, fire-resistant trunk. The long, dry period ahead, the water is tapped with drinking water when drinking water becomes scarce, and by this tree life is sustained in the arid months. Likely, this is the origin of the idea of the tree from which a river flows from the healing of the nations, Revelation 22, 1-2, an image of the restoration of paradise. So the bark can be used for cloth, rope, the leaves for condiments, medicines. Then the bread, or I should say the fruit, is called monkey bread. Hello! Huh. So here's one thing that I see being, a definite wake-up call, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, what is that, the canary in the coal mine? Is this not the canary in the coal mine? What are we going to see over the next 7 to 10 years? Ray, Mr. I. Ray, this guy is awesome. He came on the show before. He put about $10,000 into equipment so he can independently study the ozone. And when he was on previously, he was talking about how with the studies that he has done and the equipment that he has, within the next 7 years, this was over a year ago, folks, so approximately by the year 2025, most of your crops will need to be grown indoors. Could you imagine what would happen if all of the crops or 90% of the fruit, vegetables had to be grown indoors? What would happen to the cost of food? How many people would starve to death? How many riots? How many new laws? Would there be martial law? Do you think the government would declare martial law if you could only grow crops indoors? And then would they create new laws to where every house had to have a specific amount of crops and produce a certain amount to be a part of a system of independent networks now to produce food? Question is, how long will this last? How long of this period, this ice age that we're supposed to be seeing? All this information about Antarctica, folks, is fascinating because supposedly the ice is melting 3 times faster than it has over the past 20 years. It's supposedly melting at alarming rates, yet the ice that's growing there is balancing it out. And then if you go back to an article back in, I think, 2004, there was, some top scientists saying, oh, yeah, and in the next decade, people are going to have to live in Antarctica because everywhere else is going to be underwater. It wasn't exactly like that, but basically saying people are going to have to live in Antarctica. That's going to be the next housing, the next zone that's habitable, and the condos and the housing is going to be out there in Antarctica. Well, guess what? There's a place in Antarctica that's I think called the Dome Sea that reached negative 95 degrees just last week. So probably not anytime soon. I'm just saying. It's funny, you go back with the Al Gore era. Global warming. Oh, carbon tax. I certainly think we need to be good to the earth. We certainly need to give back what we take. I think for every tree that you cut down, you need to plant another one. Absolutely. Maybe right now we should plant 2 for every one that we cut down because there's been so much deforestation over the past 100 years. It's been really bad, folks. The amount of forest that gets destroyed on a yearly basis is disgusting. So yeah, maybe we should plant 2 for every one that we cut down. Yet creating all these additional taxes on products that are being offered to the public as the basic means of transportation. I mean, talk about mind control. How about release products that actually work that don't need carbon credits? Donkeys? Hello, donkey? Oh, donkey pig? Donkey pig? I mean, that's pretty much what they are. They're donkey pigs. Because they're giving you no choice but to use equipment and technologies that are ancient, running off of gasoline. Much of the vehicles are made of gasoline, or gasoline is used to make the vehicles with the equipment that are being used. It's just ridiculous. I mean, break out of the Borg mindset. Let's get into these energy vortexes that are just readily available, constantly around us. Tesla style, baby. Hello! Bring it. That's what I'm talking about. Be excellent to each other, everybody. Where are we going to be in 10 years? Where's Antarctica going to be? How come California hasn't flooded yet? Starting to wonder. All of this news and all of these genius, brilliant scientists that say 10 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now. Sometimes they're right. A lot of times they're wrong. Science is religion. Religion is science. It's just another form of ideas encapsulated with labels to offer the people a choice of thought processes to say, okay, yes, that religion is right. Oh, okay, yes, that science is right.
You are assimilated.
Be excellent to each other, everybody. Make sure to subscribe, youtube.com/clandestine Time Lord. Get access to the latest podcasts. And if you go to leakproject.com, you'll get access to hundreds of exclusive podcasts, incredible guests from around the world that you will only find these podcasts on leakproject.com, and pick up your EMF blocking 5G shielding Leak Project limited edition tinfoil hat. Oh yeah, will you just look at it? Be the change you want to see. And it's at leakproject.com/shop. Today, you want one.